The Freedom class, yeah, had them on that ship too. But the Oasis is like the Oasis and the Allure have two flow riders. So basically, you can also find them in surf shops and water parks. The flow rider creates a jet of water that's about 3 inches that you can surf on, and they have one in their backyard. That's because they're rich and they like spoiling their children a little too much, by the way. But yep, there's flow rider. We thought they rented it, you know, but then they've had it for 2 weeks, so I'm almost thinking they bought it. Yeah, I don't know really. The downside to the flow rider, it requires a lot of electricity. Optimus sailing dinghy is going out to the ocean doing a little sailing today. To check out some of the sail numbers, of course, you have registered with the U.S. Sailing Association. You got USA. Now, of course, the kid with elite on his sail, 13337. That's basically that's what you call a vanity sail number. They had to actually, of course, get that, but I'll explain that in just. The Optimus sailing dinghies are the most perfect boats for teaching kids how to sail. They were originally built using 2 4x8 sheets of plywood for a pattern of numbers to basically, again, it's a joke. It spells out elite like elite, but pattern there. One of these, the yachting capital of the world, and of course we got a lot of boats out here. 42,000 boats and yachts in a city that claims to only have 155,000 residents. If you do the math, it's like a boat for every 300 miles of winding rivers, canals, and waterways. Earned us the nickname the Venice of America. 30 days in a calendar year, usually decent climate, average year-round temperature 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Now what I want you to do is look ahead towards the bridge, and then we're going to bear off to the right about 1 o'clock position, and you see a little boat. That's a nice boat. And then you see it next to the Lady Sheridan, and the point I'm trying to make of this is if I my yacht make it look like a toy. You know, it's just ridiculous how much bigger a 200-foot long yacht is than of course, a 100-foot long yacht. Now the next thing to tell you is that it's built with the strength to cross the Atlantic Ocean. She is transatlantic capable. You can hop on that yacht and go just about anywhere in the world. You can go to Antarctica. You can watch the March of the Penguins. If this is second boat to wear the name Lady Sheridan. It's named for his wife, Sheridan Williams. And the first one was also called the same name, but a little smaller. 140-foot long yacht. Oh, you can totally see Judge Judy doing that. She wouldn't use a yacht broker to negotiate the price. She can kind of handle that herself. So here's a guy that just beat the legal. Her honor. Very simple. Just Google those 3 words and the images of the yacht pop up in your browser. So very simple to look up yachts. Yacht, her honor. Coming up to your right, you have this. Oh God, this thing is looking inside. That is just gorgeous. So they're really putting a lot of time in this. Which guess what that means? That means they're going to sell it. You know, and putting the showroom and shine on it. Boat show's coming up at the end of the month, and White Cloud will be pretty much ready for the boat show. So hard to believe that sucker was built in 1983 and looks that good. But yeah, that's what a lot of money and maintenance will do. The boat, by the way, was owned by a Prince Leo of Lignac. Now you see that hot than that. That thing doesn't decide that they had freshly sanded, and I said, oh yeah, the boat's seen better days, blah blah blah, and they the sailboat's going to cut right across my bow, isn't he? Gotta love the week's hurricane proof. Oh yeah, yeah. That's be one rolling down our you know what I mean, getting close to us. It'll be rolling down the water. Speeds of 185 miles an hour, which is nice because you can go up and hit it with a baseball bat and it doesn't break. And the reason I know this is because they used to demo that stuff at the home expos, where they show you new grand total of 22,000 square feet, 11 full-size bedrooms, 12 full-size bathrooms, 5 half baths, for a grand total of 17 bathrooms. The guest house has 5 zones of central air. 2 of the 5 zones are used to cool the 6-car garage on the first floor of the guest house, which to explain that, the waterway that we're on, this has been nicknamed the Interstate 95 of the store, to clarify, until after 12 noon. So after 12 noon, you can see the boats just coming out of the woodwork. It's going to be crazy. So basically, because people can't go on a boat without beer, apparently, yeah, look in your windows. So if you look down this canal directly to your right, I'll show you a famous person if I can. It's on the same side as the blue boat. It's inevitable. That's Scottie Pippen's house. He's actually the former Chicago Bull. Can you see his house? Nope. People, they choose to live away from the intracoastal. From the corner here, we're going to go down the street to your right-hand side, and you're going to see there's a little white boat with twin outboard motors. This is a nice little Intrepid sitting there. It's not little, it's just little compared to like Lady Sheridan. But there's a house here, it's sandy beige. It's got an orange barrel tile roof. It's one down from the Peach House. It's owned by a Mr. Douglas Von Allman. He's a venture capitalist from St. Louis. This is not brand new, but there's so many of these classic. This thing was built probably late 60s, early 70s, and there's so many of these classic 31. Again, there's so many of those in this city that look like that you swear they're still rolling off the assembly line. Annual property taxes are $336,000 per year. Mr. Stern bought his neighbor's house for $8 million, tore it down, and put up a tennis court. You can see the tennis court right here alongside the main house. So when I said his taxes are $336 a year, I didn't include the tennis courts, and it's a tough call. And I haven't seen the latest appraisal because they just finished the tennis courts in December. So we're waiting for the place to be appraised. The founder of Lady of America Health Club chain, big chain of women's only fitness centers. Today, the head of Diversified Health and Fitness. They maintain ownership of 10 different health club brands. There is a White House coming up with 3 green awnings. It was completed 20. First United States Coast Guard station in our city. The Coast Guard base existed in front of us throughout Prohibition and through World War I. In 1948, the United States Coast Guard moved their base out into Port Everett to Wayne Huizinga for its day-to-day operations. Wayne got tired of leasing. He bought it from the city and recently sold this with a bunch of other hotels to the Blackstone Group for about $1.2 billion. Acronym for the boat show is FLIBS, so it pronounced FLIBS. just doesn't roll off the tongue nicely. FLIBS. So every magazine now boat so that the back end of the boat is facing against the wood here on this dock. So you put the boat up against the wood, and that's called Mediterranean style docking. The bow or the front of the boat is sticking out towards the west, or in other words towards our left hand side. So if this were the boat show, we'd be plowing through. Well, we wouldn't have actually made it this far because we would have hit a yacht back behind us, and and they build a city. Some of these buildings are actually floating. Those cocktail barges and yacht broker tents and whatnot. But on this huge parking lot coming up to your right-hand side, they're going to start a thing about the boat show in it. But the one called Showboats is usually like $12. But you can peruse it, you can flip through it, and they've got some aerial photographs of what the boat show looked like last year. What's wild is